Our goal as a company is to become the premium soccer tourism destination in the world. If you want to become a premium soccer tourism destination, that means the football has to be entertaining and exciting. So we design everything based on that. Our goal is to build an attractive team so that when people come here, they're entertained. If we do everything right, 60% of our new audience will come from tourists who suddenly find, there's a football club here. If they come and visit us for the first time and we play low block and boring, they will never care about Como. Football goes up and down. If we do our job well, people will not be able to separate between Lake Como and Como Football Club. We have 4.8 million tourists every year and growing. When I first came here, it was 1.6 million tourists. 5 years later, 4.8 million. There's got to be a way to make money, you know?
So now, what are the plans for Como?
What's really important for us is actually to find a way to make this a proper business, Football for us is the catalyst, it's the entryway. But at the end of the day, we have to create an ecosystem that can support the business of football. So we have to make everything sustainable. A football club in a population of 85,000 is very, very hard to become sustainable from football alone. But we are very, very lucky that we're located in a place where almost the city itself is a brand. Lake Como is a brand, it's a global brand. So it would be foolish for us not to take advantage of that and place the football as part of the ecosystem, not at the center of it, but as part of it. We can use that to increase our visibility and at the same time capitalize on the brand of Lake Como itself and create businesses that start from the football club, but then across the Como brand itself. So,
what sector are you aiming?
In a number of times I've been asked about what is our business model. I'd like to think of it similar like Disney.
Okay.
The Disney brand to us, Disney the apparel, Disney and Como, it's the same. In Disney, you have Disneyland as the theme park division, Disneyland, Disney World. For us, the football club and the match day experience is the theme park division. And then you have what they call the consumer products, which is the merchandising, the licensing, all that kind of stuff. It's the same for us. It's the merchandising. So we have a separate division that's called handling only retail division. So it's only clothing, shoes, all that kind of stuff. Then we have media division. So it's a separate company. And then we have tourism. It's the same as Disney also have travel and tourism. We have the same. So but what's unique about ours is the tourism is how do we actually link the football experience with that, the Lake Como travel tourism. So that's what's unique about us. Then we have the schools and the academy. Okay. So not academy for the football club per se, but academy for people who wants to go to play soccer in the summer from America in Como. The parents can go on holiday, the children can play football. And also at the same time, we're creating a year-long football academy for those who think they can or who wants to become serious about football, so they can maybe get a university scholarship in America or maybe become a professional player. So we will put that in place. We have a digital division that develops a blockchain ticketing system for our club, eventually be rolled out very, very soon. The digital division also handles our data, which is very central to all our football operation. And we also have an FMCG division, which actually currently we have La Comasca beer. So it's everything works around creating an ecosystem, working together.
Your growth has been impressive. Of course, it costs. So last balance sheet was in the red. Probably this one is in the red. When do you think, I'm not saying get the break even, but things will change?
Football club balance sheet is in the red because we split our operations into 9 companies.
Okay.
At some point, maybe we consolidate.
Okay.
Maybe. When will we chase profitability? The goal, the projection for us within 2 years. We should already be in the black. But in order for us to do that, all the other brands that we actually manage would have to be successful. So if you're If you go to the town today, you will start seeing a lot of our merchandising. Before, 3 years ago, we didn't have a shop. Today we have 4 in the city, and we have 485 shops that distributes our products across Como province. So, but that's just, you're serving 800,000 people and the 4.8 million people of tourists that come here over the summer. Our goal is to actually be able to export overseas and grow that 4.8 million seasonal tourists to become maybe 48 million, 400 million, whatever it is that we can try to approach.
The stadium where we are now, it's very beautiful. Smack in the center of the city, landscape beautiful on the lake. It's old. In Italy, building a stadium is complicated. You know, they tried in Rome, in Milan, it's a headache. What are your plans about that?
We will work with the city, which whatever the city wants.
To develop this one or new one?
The request is to develop this one, so we will work with the city to redevelop the stadium.
Okay. Yeah. Ideally, how big would be a restructured Senigaglia?
What do you mean, capacity?
Capacity, yeah.
I don't know. Whatever the regulation allows us to be. But if we were to renovate this place has to be able to work 365 days a year. Football have to be secondary.
Well, you're smack in the center of the city, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, there are 4.8 million tourists every year.
Yeah.
And this would be, if they were to do it, I think the city would want this stadium to become a hub for use for the community and the tourists as well. Yeah. So therefore, you cannot only use it for 19 days a year. So there has to be some particular considerations to be placed into it.
What is the importance of having families like Hartono?
I think it's more for about experience, right? The group are experienced in building brands. They didn't just build one brand, they've built a number of brands and companies. And this is another one that we're trying to develop. And we actually try to move a lot faster on this one because we're building it from zero. And we're trying to make it turn it into profitability within the next 2-3 years, hopefully. And by then, that's 8 years to profitability. That's very, very fast. If we can do this, then it's amazing. But yes, we're confident because now in Indonesia, all the business that we do maybe serve only the Indonesian market. This is the first product that can serve the international market. For example, this is very interesting. Even when we were Serie B, we sold tickets to 122 countries. On our e-commerce, 20% of our sales last year were overseas. This year, 12% alone is to the US. So we're growing faster and faster and faster. And not because we're increasing our commercial advertising or promotion. No, it's not. It's happening organically. And I think it's because the association between the Lake Como brand and the football club is becoming closer and closer.
How often do you speak to the owning family?
It's frequent.
Yeah.
There isn't a timeline to it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, but it would have to be at least weekly. They are involved.
Yeah.
Every game, they have a report pre-game and post-game. Yeah. They understand. They want to know everything about how things work. They are not football fans.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
which might help in developing.
But they want to have to understand.
Yeah.
So in order for them to understand, we have to create a system that anybody can then agree and understand why this person we're paying X, this one's paying Y. So we have to create a system that they understand. And that's why data for us is extremely important, because then they're guided by every decision is based on data.
Okay.
Be it on choosing a player, be it on the strategy of creating a team, and so on and so on. Everything has a return on investment value for them.
I mean, we noticed a lot of personalities from movie and are here in the Senigaglia. So I think this is part of the strategy. Or they ask you to come?
It's a coincidence, but it's a good coincidence for us. And I can see that it happens in every city in Italy as well. But maybe it doesn't, how do you call it? It's not so special when people go to San Siro.
Yeah.
Because it's such a big thing, it's a big place. But this is Como, it's small, right? When you have big names in a small town, maybe people take notice. But it's not something that we aggressively create. It happens.
It's very clever as a strategy, I think.
We didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They want to come. And once they see they read the stories, once
Yeah.
they read about Cesc Fabregas, the
Yeah,
way he
yeah.
plays. James, Keira Knightley's husband, wanted to come to Como because he read about how Cesc Fabregas has created an exciting brand of football. So he wanted to see the football himself. So from there, things happen.
You got very, very, very good player. Nico Paz is one of the most. So I think big clubs are already aiming him. What are your plans on the huge talent you've got?
Grow them, obviously. I mean, the goal is to attract young talents.
Yeah.
Attract talented young players who can help Cesc play attractive
Yeah.
football. We have no intention of selling any of our players. Not in the near future. Maybe 3 years' time, maybe 4 years' time. Because at the end of the day, you're foolish to not say that player transfer revenues is part of the business, right? And also, we're not short on money. We're well resourced.
You're not. Yeah.
We're not afraid to bid for the biggest players, but we have to make sure it fits the budget, right? And we are in the process that if we let our ego drive our decisions, we would probably bid for every player on the planet, but we're not that.
Yeah.
We're governed by our fiscal strength, and that means our owners will not support us giving money while we're not generating all the time. We have to start making money ourselves and building the business.
You mentioned Cesc Fabregas, but you got also Thierry Henry in the
Yes.
shareholder structure.
And Varane.
Varane as well. How much are they important for the? I mean, of course, Fabregas is the coach, so they help having Henry or this kind of Varane.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Thierry is very helpful in terms
Yeah.
of building the brand.
Yeah.
Even though he's in the US or in London, he definitely helps us increase our profile. Varane is here every month.
Okay.
Varane is working with our education team, the education board, working with the academy. Maybe people think we're bringing them just for the names. No, we don't, because the names are names.
Yeah.
But what they can bring is their work. They very high-profile people with also very competent at what they do.
Yeah.
Thierry is, I think, is a media genius.
yeah.
You know, and his show is one
Yeah,
of the
no,
most
he's
popular
very good
ones.
at TV. I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he always have ideas.
Yeah.
He always have ideas, and we welcome those, and we're excited about working with them. You know, I think one of the secret of our growth is actually having different people who come from different background, collaborating together and bringing new ideas, and that's what makes it very special.
How is it important that the majority of Serie A clubs are foreign investor now? US, Canadian, Indonesian.
I hope all the other owners would think of us not just as a foreigner, right? I hope they think of us as one of them who are trying to build the league together. I don't think it matters where they're from. What matters is what they're trying to do together. If you look into like somebody like Mr. Della, right? He's an individual, but he thinks he's a corporate, no?
Yeah.
He runs his business as his club very successfully, very unorthodox in his ways. Commercially is still very, very savvy. At the same time, also Mr. Percassi, also very, very smart, runs his club like a business. So I think maybe there was a stereotype in the old days where ego drives the clubs. But in the modern era, I think a lot of football club owners, be it Italians or not, who are in Italy, are starting to become more corporate.
So are you satisfied with your investment at the moment?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your patience.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
Alessandro, Francesco, and everybody.